And meanwhile, there's a big night of boxing taking place this weekend. Darlington's Stuart Hall will be topping the bill at the Metro Radio Arena tomorrow night. He'll be defending his IBF bantamweight world title against Paul Butler. Phil Roscoe reports.
It's the eve of the big fight, but the rampage has already begun. Crowds gathered at the Metro Centre in Gateshead this afternoon for the weigh-in ahead of tomorrow night's world title clash at the Newcastle Arena. The defending champ Stuart Hall was given a hero's reception. At 34 years old and weighing in at 8 stone 6 pounds, he's at the top of his game and getting used to these big occasions.
I've got the experience in the bank of all these big nights, so like I say, it's going to be his first big night, and I think he's going to feel the nerves. He's just full of himself, and I can't wait to prove people that he's not ready for this yet.
But the challenger would beg to differ. Ellesmere Port's Paul Butler entered to a chorus of boos, but that didn't seem to faze him. The 25-year-old came in at 8 stone 5 3/4 pounds. He's tipped for the top, an odds-on favourite for tomorrow night.
Of course, you never see a skint bookie, do you? Never see a bookie riding a bike. We've got a game plan, and whatever he brings, we've got a plan for it. We'll have an answer for everything he does, and we'll be walking away with the title.
So there's nothing in it weight-wise, it's a case of experience versus youth, and that could be the difference.
For me, it is a great chance, but I think it might be just coming a little bit too early for Paul Butler. I think they may be underestimating Stuart Hall, who's, doesn't do all the showmanship, doesn't do anything like that, but what he does do is he's a good, solid, tough professional. I think he might just have a bit more mental strength, and that might be the difference in this fight.
As it stands, the North East is still home of the IBF bantamweight world champion, and Stuart Hall is aiming to keep it that way. Phil Roscoe, ITV News, Gateshead.
Now, a huge weekend for Darlington boxer Stuart Hall as he puts his IBF world bantamweight title on the line for the second time in 10 weeks tomorrow night. The 34-year-old fights Merseyside's Paul Butler at the Newcastle Arena, and this was the weigh-in at the Metro Centre just a few hours ago. And as you can see, it's getting pretty spicy there. Hall knows he faces the fight of his life to hold on to the crown he won last December. And I must warn you, there's flash photography from the beginning of this report.
The crowd want to get it on. We want to get it on. Just let's get it on.
Stuart Hall, who retained his belt after a technical draw with Martin Ward in March, says he's ready to rumble. But does he have what it takes to keep his title against the toughest opponent of his life?
I'd say 60-40 my part, in my eyes. But yeah, I know it's going to be a tough fight. He's coming to win, he's very, very confident, but I'm going to knock confidence out of him. You see now how fit and strong I was in the Malinga fight, and I'm looking after my body. So look at Carl Froch last week, 36-year-old, against a younger, fresher opponent. Look what he did. I think we're going to get a repeat of that on Saturday night.
Paul Butler is 9 years Hall's junior, unbeaten in 14 fights at super flyweight, and he won his first bout at bantamweight in March. The young pretender from Ellesmere Port's a big favourite with the bookies to win on Saturday, but he says he has the utmost respect for his opponent.
He's a tough game fighter, there's no quitting him. I think that's what got him through the Vuzi Malinga fight. Great fight. I was there cheering him on at the time, so I think that's what he does well. He's got a nice jab, but if the jab's not quick, then we're getting around it, and we'll definitely be walking out the winner on Saturday.
Also on the card, Sedgefield's Commonwealth silver medalist Bradley Saunders. The welterweight now lives and trains in Spain and is looking forward to boxing back in front of his home crowd.
It means the world to me. Travel the world for the amateurs. I think I went to 27 countries in 1 year, fighting, and do you know what? It didn't mean nothing to me. It meant more to me fighting out of all Sedgefield in front of my own fans and friends. And now I'm back in the North East, like where I'm from, where I belong. It means a lot more to me. It gets me up on the morning.
It all starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And BBC Tees will be ringside for the big Hall-Butler fight with commentary from Rob Law, Andy Bell and former European champion Billy Hardy. And that fight's from 10 o'clock tomorrow night.